So let's talk about the one question that you need to ask yourself whenever you're dealing with a woman that's going to cause you to never be confused by them again. As I've mentioned the guy, Doc Lowe, on this show several times. He was basically like an online mentor. Like, he was a guy that put out a lot of great dating advice and strategies and stuff. And a lot of the things that dating coaches are talking about today, like interest levels and kitty cats competing and all these other various like phrases that you hear today, he's the one that came up with that stuff back in the early 2000s, all right? And so one of the things that he said that really, really helped me in my dating life was the following phrase: high interest level cuts everything. And what he meant by that was that when a woman has a very high interest level, then there's gonna be no miscommunication, there's gonna be no mixed signals, there's not gonna be anything that's gonna cause you to think, does she like me or not? I can't tell. Because women that have a high interest, they cannot help but do things that are going to assure you that she actually likes you. And so many guys get confused by this because they're trying to look at a woman and say, well, I can't tell if this action means this, or she was showing like him this way, but then this other thing happened and I can't tell. And so I just started to ask this one simple question, which is this, is that how would a woman with high interest respond to the things I'm saying or doing? And as I started to ask that question with every single woman that I dated, it became very easy to spot the women that had a high interest and the women that were just kind of wishy-washy, which ultimately leads towards them having low interest or no interest. So I'm gonna read a few examples of things I found on Reddit whereby guys are confused about if a woman's interested or not and how they should be able to better read the situation, okay? So here's the first one. This guy he posted up a thing on Reddit, and the title says, Chipotle girl who gave me her number but keeps flaking on the date. So here's a text exchange. He had a date set up, and then he texted her, is 7:30 okay for you? And then she said, okay, perfect, yeah, that works for me. Then the next text, he says, hey, just confirming we're still on for this evening. And by the way, guys, I stress to you, you should not be calling women or texting women to confirm dates. You should just set the date, set everything that's gonna be happening for it when you're setting it up, and say, great, I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30 at this place. Look forward to it. And you just show up. Now, some of you might think, but what if she flakes? Exactly. If she flakes, then you know she's no longer interested and you just stop texting her. But I think as a guy, you need to be able to actually feel that, because it's one thing to be like, you text her later to see if it's on and she cancels. It's like, okay, well, she still wanted to see me, but your body actually feeling and going through the motion of a woman not showing up will let your brain get a lot faster. Oh, so I just show up for the date and she doesn't have the courtesy at all to even show up or to text me that she's not gonna show up at all. Like, clearly she has no respect for me, therefore she has no interest. And it'll be a lot easier for you to get out of your head any kind of woman that you think might have an interest by feeling her not show up. But again, in my dating life, I found when I just set the date and then just show up, one or two things happen. Either she just shows up or she texts me beforehand to say, hey, just wanna make sure our date's still on, because that lets me know that they are not gonna cancel on me because they are texting me to make sure that I'm showing up. The one that planned the date and is paying for it, yeah, I'm still showing up. But anyway, so he texted her, just confirming we're still on for this evening, and his response is, my family actually made a surprise visit to my house. I know it's super last minute, but would you be okay if we did it next week instead? And then his response is, hey, I totally understand. Also, here we go. Also, I know it's probably anxiety-inducing to meet a random dude you just saw for like 2 minutes, but know that I genuinely want to get to know you more. You seem nice. I can be free this weekend and most evenings after 6 p.m. Let me know what's a good day. So there's a lot to unpack with that, which is basically like him having the whole thing, him projecting onto her, like, you're probably feeling a lot of anxiety, which is why you're probably canceling me, but I'm totally cool. Like, that's only adding more nervous energy, and that's not gonna actually help his cause. If anything, it's gonna make her realize how desperate he is, on top of the whole, like, I'm free this weekend and free like all the time. And I've said before, guys, you don't wanna give a girl the impression that you're always readily available. You'd be better as a strategy to say to a woman, hey, well, you know, I know you can't make the date today. You know, I have a couple of days next week. I'm free Tuesday and Thursday after 6. Let me know if those particular days work for you, because that lets her know you're specifying time that you're available, because you're probably not available other times, which women need to feel. Women like the idea that the guys they're after are making time for them, not giving all their time to them. And so this is a crappy message that he sent overall that's not gonna help him. But the title of this post was, she keeps on flaking, which means that she's done this more than one time. So he's confused as to what to do and what this means. But let's ask the question I put forth, right? How would a woman with high interest respond? So if you ask a woman out on a date with high interest, how would she respond? Would she try to flake on the date, or would she try to show up for the date? If her family happened to show up, would she be able to say, hey guys, I'm glad to see you, but you know what? I already have a date scheduled for tonight, so I can go see him for like an hour and come back, but I definitely got to make this date because this guy could be the guy of my dreams that I end up marrying someday. Or will she say, oh, my family's in town. Oh, I can't see him. So when you start asking the how would a woman with high interest respond question, you'll start to realize that what she's giving you is BS. Because how would a woman with high interest respond to you asking her for a date? Would she show up for the date on time? Or would she keep flaking and then consistently be flaking time and time again? Is a woman flaking on you showing high interest? These are the questions that you as a guy have to start asking yourself, because your ego is going to get in the way if you don't ask the question. Your ego is going to be thinking, okay, but maybe she has stuff to be busy because I'm such a nice guy. Of course she'd want to date me. It's just that this other circumstance came up. But if you ask the question, how do women respond with high interest, you'll start to see that, oh, wait, a woman with high interest would show up. A woman with high interest a woman with high interest in this situation would be like, I see my family all the time and I can see them again after this. And even if they're in town now, I can go back to the town that I'm from and see them at any other time that I want to, but this guy's not gonna always be available. But women that have low interest have no problem pushing you to the wayside. So let's go to another situation. Now this is a situation that a woman posted, right? So the post is, my boyfriend, 29, wants me, 26, to wear a bra around the apartment because of my male roommate. So she says, I've lived with my sister and her fiance for a couple of years now, and at first, I always wore a bra outside of my room. But as I got more comfortable, I started wearing one less often. My boyfriend, who's practically moved in now, and I of almost 2 years, have gotten into disagreements/fights about it because he says me walking around with no bra on with another man in the house makes him feel not secure. My sister sometimes walks around with no bra, and I just feel like it's unfair for her to be able to do it, and I can't considering bras are uncomfortable. Should I wear a bra or hoodie to make him feel more comfortable? Ladies, I would love to hear what you would do in my situation, or if there are any men, what are your opinions? So, I'll save you what was said in the comments by women, but a lot of women these will comment basically saying, well, it's your body, your choice, and if he's feeling insecure about it, then blah, blah, blah. And this goes into women don't understand that amongst men, even if her sister, even if the fiance is with her sister, she's thinking, and because of that, he would never look at me in a sexual way. I'm gonna give you a spoiler, women. If we see boobies on anybody, we're thinking about you in a sexual way. Even if we don't act on it, that's still happening. And other guys know this. So her boyfriend's in the complete right to be like, yeah, like what the freak you were doing, not wearing a bra around another dude. Like if you're living with him, you feel uncomfortable, walk around your room without a top on, but that would be like me walking around your sister with my underwear down. Like that is not something you should be doing. But let's not even get to her. Let's ask the question, right? If this woman had high interest in her boyfriend, how would she respond if she had high interest when he said, hey, babe, you're walking around without a bra and your titties are popping over the place and there's another dude here, what are you doing? Well, the response, one, it shouldn't even be a question you have to ask. And I say this because as a guy, I have dated women who have been very attractive and have been curvaceous and have, stuff popping all over the place. And when they go out with me in public, they're wearing shirts where their cleavage isn't showing. They're wearing outfits that look great and make me showing off a few things here and there in terms of like, just if you're a curvy woman, you're already gonna be showing off, but they're not wearing anything that's purposely trying to like pay attention to their butt or pay attention to their boobs or stuff like that. And there'll be times where I've asked them like, hey, like, I'll be joking like, hey, you would never wanna like, go to like a pool party in a bikini and this and that. And their response is always like, again, me not pressing them. Their response has been, well, I'm saving that for you, or I'll dress like that around you, or I'll wear this lingerie or tight, sexy dress around you, but I don't feel the need to show that off to other people because I'm not trying to get with them, I'm trying to get with you. And that's not me pushing it. That's these women that have high interest realizing they don't want to draw other sexual attention from other guys. And most women know that most dudes are attracted to boobs and are going to be staring at them nonstop with them. So they're not even trying to put themselves out in a way where that could happen because they have high interest. So you got to ask the question, would a woman with high interest respond negatively if you said, hey babe, maybe not show off your knockers? And this is different from like, because women will say like, well, he's trying to control my body. This is different from like, if, again, he's saying put a bra on. He's not even saying like put a full shirt on. He's saying, could you just put a bra on? Like if you want to walk around with no shirt on, if you're gonna do that, at least wear a bra so you're not showing the girls out. And her response is like, how dare you? I wanna be able to do whatever. It's my body, this is that. Women with high interest wouldn't do that. So if you just start asking this question, how would a woman with high interest respond to the action that I'm doing, to the request that I'm making? If you find that the answer would be, oh, she'd do this. If I asked a woman out that on a date, how would she respond with high interest? Oh, she would definitely show up for the date. She definitely wouldn't flake. She definitely wouldn't come up with excuses to not see me. And some women will hear this and think, well, that's just a way to see if a woman, if you were able to control a woman or not, because, you know, a guy could be like, well, if she had high interest, she wouldn't talk to other dudes or she wouldn't do X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to assume that women are smarter than that, and that you recognize the difference between a guy that's actually trying to be controlling and a guy that's either setting boundaries or is recognizing that a woman that has low interest would be doing certain actions. But suffice to say, guys, when you start to ask this question, it removes all confusion, because you're thinking, for example, let's say you're talking to a girl and you're like, oh, she's showing me mixed signals. Well, how would a woman with high interest respond? Would she be showing you mixed signals? Or if she has high interest, would she be showing you signals that are so clear that indicate that she likes you that you would not be confused? Would women with high interest try to keep you in a confused state? And that's all I'm saying, guys. Ask this question. It'll allow you to be more honest with yourself. It'll help you bypass your ego when it's feeling things. And ultimately, it'll allow you to see the women that are truly interested versus the ones that are just allegedly, according to you, messing with your head.
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high class man. You a high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class